In one of my previous recordings, the presentation I did, Black Mirror Reality, I made some pretty bold statements about how the Black Mirror has to maintain fidelity in order to, well, it has to have multiple reality generator beings independently verify what's happening in the world in order to maintain fidelity. It's like a merger of many conscious beings, and we get a reflection that not all the time, we get a reflection that we can't always agree upon all the time, and this is how Mandela effects occur. And it's to the point where nobody's in the wrong, it seems like, when it comes to Mandela effects, these ritual causal events. I'm going to go ahead and play the video. It's a 2-minute clip from my own YouTube channel where I talked about the Black Mirror reality. Let's just go ahead and play it.
Maintain fidelity, like I said, but it needs real generator beings to do it. It can't do it on its own. And I think this is what the creeps are realizing, so they're trying to prep this AI generation machine to do that for them, so they don't need us. They don't need God's children anymore to kickstart the reality. The reality is nothing without us. It would cease to exist, the creeps would cease to exist. Reading again. During 7/11, this may explain the cartoonish cutouts of the plane imprints on the towers. What is viewed was what was expected. Cutouts of 2 planes in a building, despite all that defies all known science and logic. It was a low-resolution representation rather than reflecting actuality. And this is what I truly believe. The 2 cartoony plane cutouts of 2 planes on the building is what people expected to see, so that's what they got. They generated that reality. The Black Mirror reflected their expectations because that's what people expected. It's almost as if the Mandela effect occurs on that day, on that moment when the planes hit, when you got 2 cartoony cutouts, and everybody independently verifies that 2 planes hit a building, and that's what's reflected in reality. In the same way, I suddenly look up at my TV and I see a multiple armed cat. The reality has to reflect something. It's almost like an after image. But it has to be low resolution because the 2 planes hitting the towers was a big deal. It was from the way I kind of guess, it was a lot of processing power for the Black Mirror to handle, or something like that. I know I'm speaking nonsense. I'm very aware of that. But what other explanation is there?
Alright, so that was a clip from the video. What I'm about to show next is actually an animated GIF from I didn't make this GIF. It's Stable Diffusion kind of creating art out of basically a bad sketch or a bad drawing, and as time goes on, I don't know exactly how it works, I'm not going to pretend. As time goes on, it slowly takes shape, and to me the AI is just programmed to act like the way reality itself does, which is how we act as well. I know that may be confusing, but it has to start off low resolution, and as the images become clearer, as more reality generator beings witness the event or witness the effect, the Mandela effect, they witness reality happening in front of them, it maintains fidelity, and the image becomes more and more clear. For instance, in my thumbnail of one of my earlier videos about the Chinese moon synchronicity, I used photo editing software to make this image right here, which all I did was take Winnie the Pooh off of Google Images, and I erased the background and added the Chinese flag on it, and that's all I did. It took a little while, not too much, but that's the most work I did to make this image. The cityscape and the 2 moons are just from Google Images. When you Google Chinese moon artificial satellite or something like that, you'll find this image. It's actually another moon behind the red balloon that I put on there, which is really strange considering when this Chinese balloon thing first started, I had mistaken, when I first saw the images, with no context, I thought, I thought it was a satellite floating in front of the moon. That's what the balloon looked like. As it turns out, that wasn't the case. Obviously, it was supposedly a spy balloon. But it's like this low resolution, and I got this backdrop, this Chinese flag backdrop. The reason it looks the way it does is because I got it from this right here. From this, I just literally took a screenshot of this and superimposed it on the balloon, and that's how I got my balloon. That's all I did. But it's low resolution, very grainy, unclear, and then we get this, a week later, a lot more crisper. It's maintained. It became more high resolution as time goes on, and I think that's how this whole reality works. And if you can consider this a metaphor, or you can take this literally as I'm saying it, because I really do believe, I really do truly believe I had something to do with this incident, only because it's too coincidental, right? And like I said, this is what the black reality, the AI technology is merely copying what human beings do, what we do with the reality. Let's say, for instance, you're an artificial intelligence, you're just doing what your creators did. And the creators are doing what the reality does, which starts low resolution and gets to the high resolution as time goes on. Where the image is, it's just strange, guys. I think that's all I have to say about it. Have a nice day.